The mind of the quiet dude.
My mind, mind,
Just the mind of the quiet dude.
my
Mind of
mind, mind, my
the mind of
mind,
the quiet dude.
mind, my mind, mind,
Just the mind of the quiet dude.
my
Mind of
mind, mind, my
the mind of
mind,
the quiet dude.
mind, my mind, mind,
Just the mind of the quiet dude.
mind, my mind, mind, my mind, mind, my mind, mind.
Just the mind of the quiet dude. What up, what up, and what up, everybody? Welcome back to another ice cold episode of Mind of the Quiet Dude. This is the Father's Day edition. We all up in here, man. These three dads out here in our garage, separating ourselves from our family, getting some shit off our chest day. That's what this is.
Facts.
What's up, y'all?
Facts.
Welcome back, man. My name is Jay Phillips. I'm here with my co-host with the most that keeps the toast and all of the good shit. My guy over there, Jamie Jones, all one word. Don't you separate it. What up, Jones?
Happy Father's Day to you, gentlemen. Life's good over here.
Good.
Third time this week. Y'all getting a lot of us this week.
Hey, man.
Third part of the week. We ain't done that in a minute. So salute to the people. Yeah, you see the momentum working. We moving now. We see something. So we rocking with it.
Love that.
How y'all doing, my brothers?
All is well, man. Got to introduce also. Welcome back to the pod. The good doctor, one of my good friends from childhood, just so happens to be, as I said last time, one of the book smartest niggas I know. Dr. Duane McClure. What up, Dwayne? What's up with your fam?
Oh man, all is well. Happy Father's Day to the both of you.
My
Hmm.
man.
Yeah.
My
Yes,
man.
sir.
There we go.
So what
We
you
got a
do,
couple
Jay? What
subjects that we
what what
jumping
you
into
do?
today. My bad, man. Go ahead. What you say?
What you do for Father's Day, bro? That's we can get into the subjects. We got a little time. How was your Father's Day, my brother?
Man, Father's Day was good, bro. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This year, I kind of got, I kind of got showered with some gifts this year. You know,
Okay.
Mm.
I felt like it was some guilt gifting going on. You know what I'm
Ah,
saying? Like
get me.
Look
we
good.
all done
Little,
some guilt gifting, and we've all had some guilt gifts.
little,
So
little
that
olive branch.
yeah, there's some of those
Mm,
going on, but I accept. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like we get locked into one type of gift that you get. Like my, sh- I don't buy no golf equipment or nothing no more because I know on Father's Day, birthday, and Christmas, I'm gonna get golf socks, golf hat, a golf shirt, some pants, some golf shorts, and a glove. I'm gonna get it all. And I did get all of that this year. And
okay.
Nice.
so I had some good golf. I had some good gifts, man. I'm not gonna complain. I had a good brunch today, and they are in there cooking dinner right now. I didn't feel like going out. I, I don't want to go out to no restaurant because when somebody else pay, I don't feel like a man. When my wife pays for the for 7 people to eat dinner instead of me, because then I
Yeah.
know that she gonna be like, I'm a little short. Then I'm gonna have to end up paying it anyway. So, so,
Pay for the
so
meal
I would,
yourself.
yeah. So I'm gonna
Hmm.
go ahead and save that and get it at the house, man. That's what that is. So yeah,
Facts.
man. Father's Day was good. What about let's start with the Jones. What's up with yours, Jones?
Man, mine was good. I got out early and ran some errands this morning. I was up just randomly at 6 a.m. It's Father's Day, supposed to be a sleep in day, but I was up. So I was sticking and moving, running errands. My kids came out and said Happy Father's Day at about 11:45
Yeah.
a.m. and noon. I think they got up figuratively,
Right. She's like,
came
what
into the
y'all niggas
garage.
forget?
Half day.
Somebody reminded you?
Yeah, they don't wake up that time on their day. But yeah, they came on out wide eyed. What's up, Happy Father's Day. Like, word, right on. That's all I need.
That's
Then
it.
Then I made them breakfast,
Yeah,
you know. On Father's Day working, I cook every single Father's Day, and whether it's breakfast or dinner, I cook one of them. Like, and I don't want to, but it just ends up being that way. But other than that, man, it was good. It was peaceful. It was peaceful. How about you, the good doctor? How was your Father's Day, my brother?
you know, you just said that's all I need when they came out and said, "Hey, Pop, you know, Happy Father's Day."
Mm-hmm.
As for me, you know, experiences with my sons, 26 and 21. Uh,
Nice.
you know, philosophy, man. I usually call and ask some kind of deep question, or they're pontificating on something, or they're
Right.
just so far down the road, just trying to plan their lives. And I'm like, wow, I had none of that focus at that age. So sometimes
Right.
it's just reflective. Like, how are you thinking like that at 26, or how are you thinking like that at 21? I wasn't, but it's good to see that they are. And for that, you know, that's a proud moment.
Yeah,
Hey
most
man, you
definitely.
you 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 got a lot more of that than I do, cause I got a lot of what you want to do, and like my son came in and said, "Hey, you want to go play some golf?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." And then he was like, "All right." And then they turned on the video game and started chilling, and I ain't heard nothing back about it again. I was like, "Well, shit, I don't want to go to you and be like, you ready?" Shit, whenever you say it, I'm on your time.
In
But
fact.
I think it was like just a gesture of something
Mm-hmm.
that he wanted to do something with me that he knew that I wanted to do. You know what I mean? And
Right.
you know, to be honest with you, that's goals. I
Mm-hmm.
always am envious of you know, guys that I see on the golf course and they got their son be able to go play with them because
Mm-hmm.
at some point in time they learned the game and fell in love with the game, and now they able to go out on the course and enjoy it together. I'd love that. And Malik plays, my oldest son.
Mm,
He plays, but he lives in Maryland, so I have to fly to Maryland to play him. And
Mm-hmm.
he just started picking up the game again over the last 2 years or so. So last
nice.
Father's Day, I actually bought him a new driver. So,
Nice.
so that was cool, But my son's
Mm-hmm.
here. They've been more football and basketball oriented, and still feel like golf is the old man sport a little bit.
Mm,
But,
Thanks.
you know, hopefully soon, I have to throw the offer out myself. But I guess that was just his way of saying, ask me to go one day.
Mm-hmm. We getting
well,
closer. Like
yeah, at
next
least
year,
you know
he
what's
actually.
important to you.
Yeah, next year he actually gonna make the tea time. He asked this year, just got it out there, kind of throwing it out. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Dad is interested in that. Okay, next year he
Mm,
might actually call somebody.
Yeah, maybe. That's cool.
That's nice.
What about you,
Mm,
brother doctor? What happened for your
no.
Father's Day?
Well, you know, start off with pancakes. I'm empty nester at this point, so sometimes it's a phone
nice.
call. Son out in LA, and then the youngest, you know, he comes in from college, and he went to get out on his dirt bike a little bit, do a little
Nice.
thing, and I don't touch that dirt bike when he's not around. I look at it
Mm,
sometimes in the corner like, nah, I ain't gonna mess with that thing and break my neck.
mm,
I don't know too much. I don't know too much about it. So,
Yeah.
but you know, we just had some good conversations. That's mostly it. That's what I mostly appreciate. It seems like your sons know that golf is important to you, so they lean into it. However, they're going to lean into it, even if you know they don't go with you.
Right.
But just the fact that
mm,
they're talking about it, like I'm paying attention to you, Pop, and I'm
Yeah.
paying
mm.
attention to the things that you appreciate, and I'm at least leaning into it a little bit more.
Yeah, and I definitely appreciate that, and I get the gesture, and
Mm,
I'm only busting balls when I'm saying that, but no, I
Facts.
do appreciate the gesture, and once again, I can't wait for that day, and I
Hmm.
know it'll be here one of these days. It'll be dope. But until then, in general, like there's a couple subjects that we kind of want to get into a little bit, and today the first one is almost exactly that.
mm,
Why is it that Father's Day is not as coveted as Mother's Day. Is there something in like in masculinity that doesn't allow men to celebrate other men, or what is
or
it like?
beast.
If it's especially with sons, like we got sons, and all of us here just we sunned up,
Fun.
like so what what is it, especially with sons, that make it more difficult to celebrate Father's Day with your pops? Is there anything that you've ever heard or seen clinically that you could attach to that?
You know, as you're talking, this thought came to mind that a child's number one mission in life is to survive and thrive, like from little
Mhm.
kid forward. And if you think about where your survival and your thriving comes from, usually it's probably going to be your mother, a little bit more than pop. And so I'm
Hmm.
just thinking about
Mhm.
those early experiences that we have with our mothers. Like the first time you can open your eyes and see who's in front of you. You got a bottle, you're being breastfed, whatever it is, you're locking in with mom like that. And maybe dad is survive and thrive as you get older. You're trying to cut your teeth a little bit. You're trying to test your masculinity out, a little bit, and test dad with a few jabs and make sure he doesn't slam you, too hard. But yeah, if
Right.
we're trying to thrive, I can see us focusing on our mothers earlier, and that's probably almost regardless of the culture that you're in. People focus on mom a little bit more, and dad, he gets little leftovers until you can appreciate who he is and how he showed up for you. If that's the case for you.
And I feel like from a young age, we're kind of, especially if you had two parents in the house.
Mm.
Your pops told you, tell your mom her food tastes good. Tell her hair looks nice when
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
from
yeah.
the salon. Like, you were kind of taught to celebrate mom. I don't know that we were
Right.
ever really taught to celebrate dad, like, or have like or look at him that way. But mom, we kind of instilled from a young age, especially being boys. Yeah, the whole door open for a lady, like,
Mm,
walk on the street side, like you learn all these things in treating a woman. um so
mm.
I guess we look at them more precious, maybe, like
Yeah,
just
you know,
inherently.
I, I'm as you're talking, I'm sitting here thinking, wait till your daddy gets home.
Hmm.
Uh, your daddy told you
Facts.
cut the grass, and so when I'm thinking about mom, there's a repercussion, but there are consequences and repercussions with pop. My
Facts.
dad would just say grass needs to be cut by the time I get home,
Hmm.
and that
Yeah.
was it. There was nothing nice about it. I could be in the
Mm-mm.
process of cutting it. It didn't have to
Right.
be cut, but the mower needs to be moving, and the grass needs to be
Hmm.
cut. And so, yeah, there's more consequences to crossing pop. At least my household, and
Right.
loving
That
mom and all the things, but consequences weren't the same.
I get that, but that's where I feel like I've gotten soft. I feel like there were a bunch of chores like that I was responsible for that were no brainers. Like just like you said, your grass got to be cut.
Hmm.
For my house, if she comes home and there's dishes in the sink and the bathroom is dirty, or my room is
Mhm.
dirty, or my bed
Pop.
isn't made up, or any long list of chores that my mom had for me to do, and that was kind of my benchmark. Like I had to have all of that stuff done. And my father's job in that was to say, hey, get in there and get all that stuff done, because I don't feel like your mom fussing at you all damn night. And that's gonna mess my day up. Listening to her
100.
fuss at you for the next 2, 3 hours because you didn't get your stuff done. So go on and get it done. And that's been my approach, probably to my detriment, where I'm more on, like I follow up. Like, look, go on in there and get that done, so we ain't got to get the wrath
Facts.
when she gets off. She gonna be home in an hour, bro. Get in there and knock
Mhm.
that stuff out real quick, And it's almost like teamwork. Um, and I don't know if that falls back onto the whole Mother's Day, Father's Day thing again, because you know we play basketball together, we play video games together, but also what we do together is make sure mom's is satisfied when she walks in the door.
True.
It's all true.
Um, and I do have the bond with my sons. So let's not be that. And I have it with my dad.
Hmm.
So we are bonded in a way that's spiritual, that's natural. Like, so I don't want to act like I don't celebrate him
Mm,
because he's one of the greatest people I've ever known. So, but I don't just randomly uh call enough. I kind of take him for granted a little bit. I
mm,
think even still this day, and he's 73, he was just here, and when he left, I'm like, damn, we don't talk enough. Like, that's one of the things I took away when he left, is we don't talk enough, and like, I got to change that. Like, so yeah, even still in my love for him, I still kind of take him for granted a little bit, which kind of goes in line with how we take fathers for granted. My mom just lives 5 minutes from me, so she never gets taken for granted. Like, I see her 3 times, 4 times a week. So yeah, I don't know, but I think it's inherent. Like, I don't know. I don't think are, is the love different just because we celebrate them differently?
yeah, yeah. It feels like I love the question. It feels like the love could be similar but expressed differently in the sense
Hmm.
that mom, I want to take mom out and get her hair done. Was never trying to take my pop out and take him to the barbershop. I was not trying
Right.
to beautify pop, but doing
Right.
something like that nice and sweet for mom felt natural to me. Maybe it's like the little mother son kind of connection. But with
Right.
pop, I want to test my metal out against him, test my thoughts out and wit and politics and religion and
Mhm.
life and manhood. And so, am I learning something? Because I knew at a certain point, mom's wisdom would carry me in some areas, but pop's wisdom would carry me through the manhood moments that I most needed. Uh,
Right.
and that would always express with, I don't think I called him and told him enough that I can hear his voice now answering questions. And I'm sitting here
Mhm.
like, oh, what's I do? Left, right, boom, there's an answer. And it might be
Mhm.
from 1986.
Right.
There was
Right.
one time I asked my dad for some Air Force Ones, and he said, I was not put on this earth to serve you. I'll make sure you have food, clothing, shelter, and you have what you need, but I'm not here to serve you. And something about that, even raising my own sons, like, hey, Pop had his own life. He was his own man outside of just being my dad. And so I can
Mhm.
identify with that because I feel like I'm in that space too. I can honor time with my sons and then recognize I got a whole life to myself. I'm not here
Mhm.
to serve them. I'm here to get them to a certain point to where they can, stretch their wings and fly and then go do their thing. And I can be proud watching their flight. Sit at the 50-yard line and watch the game unfold. That's where I want to be.
Right. Right. And yeah, I get it. I worry about that high, like, even with my kids. Like, are they, am I too, like, I was independent and I was forced to be, like, because I
Hmm.
had chores, I had things that I had to get done. Like, my kids don't have as many, like, as us. It's kind of a different environment, and I notice it. And I'm wondering, am I doing harm? They're great students. They give me everything I want. They don't get in trouble, but still, I want them to be go getters. I want them to get after it, like, in their own way. And I'm wondering, am I making, like, puss ass niggas sometimes by, by them not having the same independent mind or be able to, get things done as easy as I could at their age, I guess, and when it came to my own independence.
I think if they were falling short in some area, seriously falling short, I could see you pulling them aside and say, hey, you falling short. The other areas where maybe you're a little bit more lax, maybe you're lax because you're just trying to give them some freedom and space to go figure out on their own. Dad's not going to have all the same answers for you that I had last
Right.
year. You're a year
Hmm.
older. You know,
Hmm.
Dad's not going to have all the answers for you. I'm not going to give you the next steps. You're 2 years older. And you keep
Mm.
applying that logic and that knowledge until they're up and out on their own, and they're going to figure it out. And then you can
Right.
sit at the 50-yard line and just sit there like, hey, I just get a chance to watch this whole thing unfold, sports style.
Right. Cause these niggas suck at dishes. Like I'm
Man,
like, how you bad at dishes, bro? Like
man,
I wasn't allowed to be bad at dishes.
I wasn't either, my bruh. I don't
I
know
had the
what
mom
is
that
going on.
I had the mom that would pull out every dish. If she saw the bad, if I put some dirty shit in the thing, she pull out the whole rack of plates, and I gotta wash all of them because it touched that one, and she don't know what else I put in there. So, but they don't
Um,
like they don't even know that existence. Like they
I
just
couldn't even use the dishwasher growing up. Uh, the dishwasher is right next to the sink. We could use it
right.
Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
uh,
those are for big
Christmas.
occasions.
And
Yep.
yeah, like China. Dishwasher was like China. The
Yeah,
China
Facts.
came out about 3 times a year.
Facts.
Dishwasher got used about 3 times a year. That's why she still got the same dishwasher since 1976. You always
man,
use it 3 times a year.
I didn't grow up with a dishwasher.
Me
To be
too.
honest with you, I didn't have my first dishwasher until I had till I moved to California. To be honest with you,
All right.
and
Mhm.
even now, I don't even know how to use it.
Yeah. I,
It's there, and I think I've loaded. I could literally count on one hand how many times I've loaded up the dishwasher, turned it on, used it, waited till it finished, took the stuff out, and put it away. Like I can't.
mm,
That's just not in my thing. In my mind, I'd have been done.
mhm.
For the time it takes for a
Exactly.
dishwasher cycle, I'd have been done.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm the
Old
same
school.
way. I'm the same way. I inherently don't trust them.
Mm-mm.
And I know they're probably better than in 1990. The first was that, you still might see some on the dish. I saw that one time and was like, no, dishwashers ain't cool. And I can't get that out of my head. So I got one. Only thing I know how to do is hit power and start. Like there's 16 buttons on it. I don't know what a single button does. I don't know if you told me to do anything else to that dishwasher. All I know how to do is hit start, close it, and it goes. And
Gets the
I
job
don't
done.
use it that much. I just wifey puts some shit in there at night and starts it before we go into bed. She'll tell me start the dishwasher. Like, all right, I hope I'm doing this right.
Right. I remember we got our dishwasher serviced about 3 times.
Mm,
And it was brand new, granted. When we bought this house, that was the thing, new appliances. So we got this brand new dishwasher in the house, and we called the people to come look at it 3 different times. Dishes ain't getting dry.
mm,
And the dude, finally, the third time says, "Do y'all use Jet Dry? Like the little product that you put in there, Jet Dry?" And I was like, "What's
yeah,
that?"
Mm.
exactly.
Nigga, we
I
put
had that
Jet Dry in that bitch. Those goddamn dishes was dry as a bone, crystal clear. I'm like, man, I'm thinking something wrong with the product, bruh. Like, I got these people. I don't know, but I guess that's
nigga,
just a different set of times.
nigga, I'm just learning that right now. So I'm like, there's something that'll dry it. There's jet dry. I'm writing it down. Like shit, I gotta go get some of that.
Yeah, it's a product, man. You put it in there, it's like fabric softener for dishes. Like, I don't know what it
I
is.
think y'all just taught me something.
You
All
ain't
right.
know either?
Yeah, I gotta go to figure out what jet dry is now.
Me too.
Look under the kitchen sink and see if I got some.
Shout out
Yeah.
to the mayor in the chat, Walter Miller, checking in. Happy Father's Day to you, Kings, as your presence is the absolute very important within your family structure. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
That was a nice little Hallmark card from Santa Claus right there. Thank you, sir.
Facts.
Um,
Chocolate Santa.
yeah. So I got a couple more questions for the good doc, man. And we got at some point in time, we'll be off and running with this. And I believe that this is gonna be a thing that's gonna be absolutely celebrated. I'm hoping that this podcast turns into a place to where, the community that we have built will know and get excited that it is doctor day. The doc's
Mhm.
pulling up with us, and if you have any questions or subject matter for us to get into, I would love for y'all to put it in the comments. And if we don't discuss it today, maybe that could spark something for a future episode for us to get into, to give the good doctor enough time to respond properly. You know what I mean? So today, what we're going to be talking about, we discussed this last week after you left us. We was just like, man, my mind went running on all of the different subjects that I was like, man, I need to ask him about this. We
Yeah.
need to figure out this and that. So the
Mm.
one thing that we kind of came together on is, why am I crying so much as a grown man? I could watch Sports Center, I could watch the news, I could watch a graduation video. My algorithm sets me up on social media sometimes to where if I watch one crying video, four more gonna follow.
Gotcha.
What is it about me in my 50s that makes me cry so damn much when I could probably remember a stretch of probably a decade that I've gone
Mm.
literally without even thinking about crying, even after going through sad stuff, after going through, you know, many different things that would warrant a tear or two, and it doesn't even warrant it. Like, is that does that make me weird? What's going on, Doc? Help me out with that, man.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we got some asymmetrical understanding of how we are as men and women. I'm just thinking like in our early 20s, maybe just driven by like I'm trying to establish something, I'm trying to set something up, um, I'm trying to get my business started or school or military or whatever I'm trying to do. Everything is about building something and maybe not even
Mhm.
taking the time to pay attention to this whole world of experiences that's still happening, but you're just not paying attention to it in the same way. And then we know as men, that testosterone starts shifting a little bit after 40, 45, definitely after 50. Get a little bit more in touch with estrogen as that happens as we get a little bit older. I ain't saying
Mhm.
nothing about you. I'm just saying something.
Right.
This is what's going on in the
Come on,
body.
man. You
But,
you
but,
hit me
but
with the I got low T
I
commercial.
ain't saying
The
that with you,
commercial
bro.
with the guy, and you
Hey,
and she's
I'm just
gonna
saying,
enjoy it
you know,
too. The commercial to come on with Doug Flutie.
Low T and high E, huh?
I love TNIE. That's
Bad
exactly.
combination.
Hey, but maybe we get a chance to appreciate, you know, appreciate what women have knew earlier in life. Like maybe women maybe knew a little bit more about intimacy. They knew a little bit more about care. They knew a little bit more. They were a bit more in touch with the emotional side of things. It took me a while, even as a therapist, to lean into that space and understand. Even in the comments, a little touch of self awareness. Yeah, we got to expand. We got to grow. And this whole trajectory of life is designed for men and women to see some similar things and different things over the span of life. I'm here for it.
Facts. It was only 5 years ago that I learned men had estrogen. Period. like, uh, and then
Yeah.
somebody said we actually have more than women does, but we have testosterone in abundance, which kind of I guess offsets what's going on. But we actually have more than they do. So it's like, oh, that's why I be a whole sissy sometimes. Watching, just scrolling on Instagram.
What?
See,
What? Yeah.
go
And
ahead.
so here's the thing. So as we're growing and we get a chance to like imagine the view of your life you have at 50 that you just didn't have at 25. Like we're all
Mhm.
fathers on here, so you see moments of your children growing and expanding. Man, there's emotions underneath that because you were there to see every step of the way. You can see their
Mhm.
failings. You can see some of your own failings in them. There's emotions in that along the way. And so, hey, the longer our trajectory goes, the more our story builds. We can understand what's going on with ourselves and our children. And yeah, you pause long enough, there's some emotions underneath all of it. I was cleaning out my son's closet the other day, came across pictures from Father's Day card from like second grade. Yeah, I looked at
Yeah.
that thing. Like, woo.
he start, it
The
got me.
allergies in the blood.
He start throwing some punches. Yeah, yeah. You start cursing and shit. Oh, bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? You got
Yeah,
you got
get
to
your
figure it
box.
out. No, but
Mhm.
I remember there's some movies that I remember watching one time and will never watch again because it made me cry in a way that I wasn't comfortable with. The
Mm,
first movie that comes to my mind when I think about that is John Q.
mm,
Mm,
You
mm.
remember that movie?
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll never watch
Mm,
that movie again, man. I won't. And it's
mm,
probably a fantastic movie. But I remember bawling uncontrollably in front of everybody who I was watching it with. And there was nothing I could do about it. And to the point I tried to laugh it off and everything, but
Mm,
it just stuck with me. I'm not I couldn't do it, man.
facts.
You
Mine
know,
was my parents, we were little kids, young. They took us to see The Color Purple in the theater. And at the end when they oh, my whole
yeah.
family. I'm damn near snot bubble crying in the theater. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
mm.
I'm the first one ever. I'm going way back, old school Saturday morning movies. Old Yeller.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Oh,
cry, but I wanted to.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, that one got me, and I didn't even know what was going on because I was too young to understand. I ain't never had nothing make me cry other than a whooping at that point. So
Right,
I give you something to cry about.
right. That was Color Purple for me. I hadn't experienced no kind of tears
it's
other
like
than
what
whoopings.
it's like what is happening to me?
Mm,
So yeah, it feels weird to
Mhm.
have to go through that, but now I don't know,
Yes.
man. I find those situations coming along more often than I want to. You know,
mm,
it
Facts.
doesn't
mm,
bother me. You know,
Hmm.
it's not like I don't feel like less of a man because something gets me emotional, but
Right.
I still don't like sharing that moment with people. Like I don't want
Right.
nobody walking in on me and me had to wipe my face and get my
Right.
stuff together and and try to explain this video that got a hold of me. And, you know, like I don't feel like doing all of that, but I don't. I'm not embarrassed by it, but it's just weird that it happens so much. So I just wanted to make sure that that doesn't just it's not just me, and that's
Mm.
okay to happen. That's why I'm asking the good doctor.
yeah, well, when I look at that John Q situation, I can't recall the year that that came out, but now having sons, having a family, and just knowing what you would do to make sure that they're all right. So my sons are going through asthma, and I get a call from the school, and I've had to take off, just like in the
Mhm.
middle of the day, and that's my John Q moment. And so
Mhm.
before I had children, I may have given someone a sympathy card. I heard you were sick or something, and my mom might tell me to send that card. I'm not really thinking to send it, but since having children, oh yeah, I get those John Q moments, and all of us are
Right.
probably moments where we've had to rush to their aid. And so when you see John Q, you're like, oh Lord, that's bringing all my old stuff up that I've been doing the
Mm-hmm.
last 5 years, raising kids. Right? We don't stop and think about these moments, but they have impact. They've shaped us as men, and there's
Right.
deep emotion underneath stuff. Maybe men we get comfortable with emotion in sports, emotion in comedy, and but emotions in real life, you children, family, grief, loss, all of that. You got to take time to unpack that. I mean,
And
if not, you carry it.
and I do think there's something to us not fighting it anymore. Maybe we're coming to an age, Jay, where when this happens, like I think instinctively through our 20s and 30s, we would have punched that out or flipped or instinctively flipped. But now I will watch the whole video
Mm-hmm.
and will accept whatever's happening. So, like, I've walked into my bedroom and showed my wife the tears coming down my face. Like, look, I'm a
So
big
look,
old
babe, I'm
sissy right now.
connected. I'm connected with my emotions, babe. Look.
I got them too.
Yeah.
But I'm with you though,
Okay.
bro. I'm laughing in solidarity with you.
Right.
I heard you.
I'm crying over some bullshit right now. What is happening to me?
Hey, and shout out to the chat, man. Walter said it was the end of Cooley High for him. That's an old school nigga right there.
Yeah.
But I do, I do remember that. I do
That's real
remember
cool
that.
guy.
And Sean says it was Crooklyn. Now that's a movie that I don't even remember Crooklyn like that.
Me
Um,
neither.
I don't remember it. Now you're gonna make me go watch it and be on guard.
Yeah. Crooklyn.
Right. Exactly.
Like this the moment.
Uh,
It's got to be it right here. Another one,
yep.
Pursuit of Happiness, got me. You know,
Mm.
when he finally got the gig and and he finally got himself together and he walked down the middle of the street and just lost it. That was a cool moment. The moment when he had to, his son was cool with them, getting washed up in the public bathroom and
Mm.
it's all right, Dad. I was like, oh goodness, like
Oh man. There's a scene where he borrowed the manager borrowed $5 from him. He's like, hey, Chris, can I get $5? He opened that wallet.
that was
He's like,
that was it.
he's like, well, I can run down and go get the sport coat. Like, no, I'll just get that $5 from you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know when I've had spare change under the sofa, and that's it.
that
That's
was
dinner.
it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
So those are great moments. And another thing that I wanted to get into since we're talking about this, man, I do believe that and there's been a big movement. I would think that I've been aware of. There's been a bigger movement for the use of therapy and the use of therapists and having some type of counseling or having some type of you know mental health. Just the phrase mental health, I believe, has been at the forefront of our you know minds in the last few years. So I want to ask this, man. Like, since you've been practicing, what you've done different forms of therapy,
Hmm.
and um, I don't know, like what I know, personally that you've done like extreme therapy, like for the military and things of that nature. So first of all, what is the job of a good therapist, and do you believe that therapy is something that everybody should attach themselves to?
Yeah. Um, I'm getting your question. Like one of the number one jobs to me as a therapist is uh, creating a safe space where that person can say whatever they feel like they need to say. Uh, if they are not, if they don't have enough spaces to share like their real concerns, that starts to build up on somebody, and it builds up and turns into stress and all the things that we just know from life. Uh, Also, a space of trust, confidentiality, all the things that their stories and their conversations are not shared anywhere else. I think that's one of the true takeaways from therapy. Like this person is paid to not share any of my business anywhere else, but I need some other human being to talk to in this moment, and I maybe
Mm.
can't tell my mom this. And I've been in therapy for like 23 years, and people say I've told you things I've not told my best friend. My parents don't know this. My siblings, my spouse doesn't know this about me, but they'll share it with their therapist because in those moments they have to have some kind of human being to be able to share that experience with, and to make sure they're okay on the other side of it.
So
Because
what?
sometimes we don't know we're okay until we say it out loud.
So what is the? So what is your job when you're into that? Because it seems like you just need somebody that's trustworthy, but there's a lot more to that. Because realistically, what would be the benefit of telling you outside of just having a friend that I can confide in? Like, where does the guidance come in? after that? Because I know that you are a doctor for a reason, and I've seen you do 12 years plus of school. Like I've I've seen you go through the madness of the book work to help people in these situations. So what is the guided part that happens outside of just listening?
So I appreciate that. When I say self awareness or emotional intelligence, you can use those words interchangeably. Uh, I try to help people increase their awareness about how they're showing up in their lives. People so often just kind of blow right past critical moments. Um, and I said, like, hey, pause right there. You know, that seemed like a pretty serious moment that you just went through. And then you move to the next sentence. Like if you know someone says something really rough and then they laugh right behind it or they smile, like, hey, I went through this traumatic event, and then they laugh. Or I went through this traumatic event, then they smile. They've taught themselves to show up in a way that shows up for others, but not for them. Let me smile for you in this moment. Let me laugh to ease this discomfort that I'm feeling. And part of my
Mm-hmm.
goal is to help them pay attention. Like, do you realize you pull on your ear when you're talking about difficult things? And they may have no awareness of that. It's just a thought, something I've noticed.
Right.
Or you notice that you laughed. You just talked about a real serious trauma that you went through as a child, and then you breezed right through it, and you talked about your breakfast this morning. Let's pause and take a moment. So sometimes I just help them pay attention to the things that they're already saying, and they've taught themselves to maybe ignore because it's just too uncomfortable to go into, or maybe they've not been in a trusted setting to really go into. Like, do I trust this guy to go into this kind of story? And it takes a little while to build up that kind of rapport for people to trust like that. But
So
that's
are
why I see the primary goal: create the trusting environment so we can take a deeper dive into the self awareness.
so taking a deeper dive. So
Mm-hmm.
are there a set of skills that that you apply? Like are there theories that you can use as reference to help them, like and I'm asking you all of this because there's a lot of people in the world that have never gone to therapy, and
Right.
so for those folks it's like they be like, man, I ain't telling you all my business, and then hopefully you can ease some of that by saying, all right, look, we're professionally not telling anybody, it's against the law, I'll never be able to practice again if I do so. And then on
Mm-hmm.
the other side of that, it's like, all right, now they're recognizing the moments that I tell them that I'm struggling with, and they say, hey, slow down. Do you realize that this is a moment that I think you're having a problem with? But if that's all you doing is making me aware of it, how is that helping? Like what is the steps that go through after you recognize that? Because I know I have a moment that that I've gone through, and hell, you might even have been there, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't talk about this much, but shit, it's like I remember when my mom passed,
Mm-hmm.
and we had the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I throw I throw humor into every situation that every, I guess, would be considered trauma that
Mm-hmm.
you can have. At like, I feel like at the end of what it was, the I did the eulogy for my mom, and it felt like I did 8 minutes of stand up. It felt like I
Mm-hmm.
did stand up comedy, and I almost felt like I I know I didn't disrespect the moment.
Mm-mm.
I didn't disrespect the moment, but
Feels like you
it
did.
feels like I didn't. You understand where I'm coming
Yeah.
from? Like, and
Yeah.
like I said, I think you were there.
I was there.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I was
and
there.
it was funny, but
It was funny. Uh,
I killed.
and
I
and
killed.
I'll throw the and, not but. Uh, and you were honoring her. You were honoring your gift. Is what came across as natural in that moment. And it was your expression that maybe the public side of you, that was your, maybe, was there an expectation that Jay's up there and he's supposed to say something like that? It's any number of things, but, uh, you know, all the more reason to take time to go back and unpack those moments and say, Maybe if you were to do it differently, what would you share as if you wrote it in a letter just to her? And so, even in therapy, I might say, all right, now that all the aunts, uncles, and cousins are gone, let's sit down and I'd like for you to write a letter out about what you think you would have said. And then we get a chance to just process some of that. When it's just you and there's no stage and there's no mic and there's nothing else but you and your thoughts about mom in that moment. That might be something I would focus on. Uh,
Right.
to your other question, one of the tools I might offer is helping people understand where their imposter syndrome is. All of this gets
Mhm.
formed in those early childhood moments that we've taught ourselves to not pay attention to, dealing with bullies, dealing with problems in the family, and we code these beliefs about ourselves in these early years. You know, I'm no good, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, and kids just code all kind of incomplete beliefs about ourselves, and we take that into our adult lives, and we don't recognize we're still taking that not good enough, not smart enough into adult life. And then if we don't pursue our goals, it's sometimes because of these beliefs we formed early in life. So those are some of the tools helping people understand their success scripts, helping them understand their self-limiting beliefs. And between, there's a lot of awareness in there.
Right. And was that some of the armor you were using to protect yourself to get
Mm,
through that speech? Like, because you've had to do stand up, you've been practiced at stand up after bad news, still having to get on stage that night after hearing being into
mm,
it with your old lady, after, you know, when you don't want to do stand up, you found a way to go out, armor up, and put it behind this jokes.
Hmm.
mm.
Did you think, or is it possible that you may have used that kind of format just to hold it together personally in front of all those people, because that's a vulnerable moment?
Hmm. Yeah. I'm I 100% believe that. And I feel like it's a gift and a curse, man. Being able to address certain things and to look at it in a humorous way, and to look at it in a way that um can make me laugh, and the person that would normally be accepting this as an uncomfortable moment laugh as well, but still kind of spoon feeding them the information that I need to get to them. And so yeah, most definitely, it's definitely an armor. It's I always refer to it as a gift and a curse, because sometimes it doesn't allow me the opportunity to not be funny and to be
To fully
taken
feel.
100% seriously when I'm saying something or doing something that I would expect someone to take me
Mm,
seriously. It's like, but no,
Right.
this is it's not a callback coming. It's not a,
Right.
I'm not setting up a joke. I'm trying to,
Mhm.
this is the information, you know.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
I guess that's what it is, man. Hey, and first of all, this ain't supposed to be a therapy session for me. I was asking for everybody else. God damn it! I'm trying
I,
to, yeah, I'm trying to.
I only,
it's
I
starting to
only,
feel like
I only thought that because I used the same armor. And like I used like I've always been tough time. I got a joke. Like hardship, we're all sitting here scared, pissed, whatever we're doing. I got a joke. I break it up just a little bit so that we can get through this shit. Like, and that's always been kind of the shield or what for me to cope
that.
with what's going on. I use that, or else I'm gonna panic or break or whatever the emotion I'm trying to hold off at the moment. Like so yeah, I only brought it up because I felt I felt again to that question. like
Yeah, I was just using it as an example. Um,
mm.
so let's do
Oh,
this.
oh, hold on.
All right.
But as a part of therapy, um what, like, is it forever? I didn't know if you were going fully away from this topic, Jay.
Mm-mm.
That's why I just wanted to
No,
get
do
that.
it.
Is the therapy supposed to be forever? Like, because I hear people who are afraid or skeptical of it say that. Oh, you never get to stop. Like, and it's a kind of the scam approach to it. Like, it's something you got to do forever. Then what are they doing for you if you still need it forever? So, like, is there a proverbial I'm better, or I'm good now, or do humans always need some maintenance, like,
Yeah.
throughout their journey?
Man, man, I know I came. I started thinking this way. So I'm digging the question. Uh, at a certain point in my practice, I realized, wow. At a certain point, I'm trying to not hear this the right way. Get rid of clients in the sense that your goal is not to stay with me forever. The goal
Right.
is to do some self awareness work, figure out where you are GPS wise, in the middle of whatever's going on in your life, past or present, and whatever, if that's maybe 6 months to a year for some people. And then it starts to move into maybe a maintenance phase. And then people sometimes feel like they just transition. And then I get calls back from someone maybe 3 years ago, like, hey, I got a new thing. So to your point, Jamie, there's always a new thing. You
Right.
know, I was walking through the park Juneteenth, and I was carrying my niece, and someone said, "Oh, that's your grandbaby?" I'm like, "Oh, so that's the first time I've been called a grandpa." I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm just saying
Right. It's a
I'm not a
shock.
grandpa yet. But when I'm a grandpa, that's a new thing. It's a new thing to be aware of. A child going out of college or whatever different phase of life. It's a new thing, constant new things, and sometimes we need to level set and just figure out where we are. But yeah, I'm definitely not in the business of keeping someone indefinitely. And I check with them. Are you getting what you need from this? Am I providing you what you need? Am I pushing enough? Am I
Right.
am I providing enough of a space? When I stop providing that for you, that's when maybe we've maxed out with what I'm able to do for you. And so I
Right.
hold myself accountable and I tell them, not to give me a grade, but to say, if you're not getting what you need from me, you can call timeout in any moment and we can go in another direction. Or if you think you need someone more directive or more prescriptive for you, I can make a referral or a recommendation for you to see someone else. The whole goal is to keep them moving, not to keep
Right.
me in the paycheck.
Right.
It's
Because
the
I've
weirdest field. I want to transition clients, and I don't want to keep more people. I want to transition them so I can start working with new people and get folks to where they need to be. If they need to come back and do maintenance, all right, we can jump back in and do some of that, and then get your level set and let you find your way to head on to the next part of your journey.
right.
All
Because I
right,
know some people, and I'm with you. I'm just closing out. I know
gotcha.
some people who have said that, like, oh, my Dr. McClure gonna be with me forever. Like, I know people who are proud of like their therapist, almost part of their fam. Like, they take reassurance knowing that that appointment's always going to be there. So I know some people that are
Mm.
proud to know that they're going to be doing this forever, and they're proud of that. So I was just kind of wondering what the consensus was, because I hear it from both sides. So go ahead, Jay. I didn't mean to
Um, so
hijack.
we'll close this out with another question for the good doc.
Mm.
For the people who have not found, or even the people who have gone to therapy before, um, what should the process be when looking for your
Mm.
therapist, and what is the sign that you have found the proper therapist? Like, is there a clicking moment? Is it like a relationship that, you got that feeling, or what is it that,
Mm.
you know?
You give me
No, I mean
butterflies.
respectfully, professionally, of course, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
when you're around somebody and their energy is like, oh, we cool. You know what I mean? But like, what's the sign of a good therapist, and yeah, just what's the signs that you found the right
Yeah.
one?
I would think if the person can find someone, it's kind of odd. I think sometimes people might talk to me because they don't think I know anyone, and I don't generally know anyone that they know, and they want to talk to
Mm-hmm.
someone that doesn't know anyone as a part of their circle. And so
Facts.
sometimes that might be it for someone. um, uh, Other times I would say rapport. Like, is this the kind of person I can talk to, does this dude seem like he can see where I'm coming from? And I remember back in grad school, one of my professors would say, you can't be everything to everybody, or you would have to be every kind of point of view that existed. Therapists just have to be willing to hold enough space for that person to have their reality expressed, heard, chopped up, analyzed, and sometimes handed back to them through a different lens. So for me, rapport building, are you comfortable? Do you feel like this person is relatable to you? And therapy is one of the fields where people can ask for what they want. If someone wants an Asian female, go get an Asian female. That's where you need to be. If you want to work with a black male therapist, some people will say they put that in the filters. They're looking for a black male therapist uh, because they feel like this person might understand me more. Sometimes they're faith based and Christian therapists. Hey, I think this person is going to come from a biblical perspective. So quite often, a lot of therapists taglines, they have all that information in there. So as someone puts their information in, it's only going to pull up the therapist that might have some of those backgrounds. You know.
Right.
How,
We went
how
like,
easy is
go ahead.
it to find a therapist though? Like, what do you do? Like, if you had to,
Uh,
if you was in the elevator with somebody and you said, "Hey, yeah, I'm Doctor McClure, I'm a therapist," and they say, like, what do you got to do to find a therapist? What's that process look like?
well, I would tell them to first. It might be obvious to say go to the internet, but I would say maybe take time to figure out what is it that you're really after. Even if you got to pull your phone up and type in your notes section and just say, like, write a paragraph about what you're trying to work on. So you're clear that when you're interviewing therapists, you're listening. Do they have the heart or the mindset or background to be able to navigate some of those conversations?
Mhm.
Now, in terms of the internet, I would tell people to go to something like Psychology Today. Psychology Today is a nationwide platform, East Coast to West Coast, where you can type in those filters, black male therapist in your particular state, Christian therapist, Asian female, Hispanic male, whatever you're looking for, or someone that has a specialty, anxiety, depression, grief, loss, phase of life issues, anxiety. I think I said anxiety or depression. Uh, and so, yeah, if you type in some of those filters in something like Psychology Today, you'll find someone that's licensed in the state that you live in, and hopefully, you know, whatever your job you have, insurance will be able to pick up. Sometimes people do fee for service, that kind of thing. And then there's always other sites like uh, it's not BetterHelp,
Mhm.
spaces like that that are online, and there's an app on your phone, and you can kind of be connected to a therapist like that. But I know myself, I'm on Psychology Today, and that was not a plug, just something. Sounds like it. But I'm licensed in Maryland and North Carolina, so if they're not in those states, I'm not licensed to be able to work with them. You have to be licensed in the same state that the client lives in.
Now, are all, like you said, anxiety, depression, might be polar, manic, or what?
Mhm.
Are all therapists the same? And I mean, is therapist like a blanket term? Do they all deal with all of it, or are there some who just deal with anxiety? Is there some that just deal with depression? Should a therapist be versed in all of it, or how does that
Yeah,
play?
that's interesting. Therapists should have a general, well, we should not practice outside of our scope of practice. And so if someone comes to me with something that's I'm not familiar with and that I don't have the background or training for, in my initial consultation with them, I should be able to pick that up and recognize, all right, I don't think this is the best fit because they're talking about issues A, B, and C, and that's not something I typically address. So as a therapist, I should have other therapists that I know that have a wide range and make referrals to them, just like they would call me and say, hey, I think this person might be a better fit for you, and then make a referral to me. And sometimes we just do that based on our own networks of clinicians we've met over the years.
Right. So you kind of got to meet one and kind of figure that out. Like
Yeah.
it's probably not in the brochure. There, it's just therapist on the brochure.
Yeah, well, you have marriage and family therapists, you have licensed social workers. I'm a licensed clinical mental health counselor in the state of North Carolina. licensed clinical professional counselor in the state of Maryland. So yeah, social workers, marriage and family, masters in counseling, you have psychologists, all have similar training, and then yet some of it's very specific. Just like you got engineers and civil engineers and industrial engineers and computer engineers. They're all kind of in engineering, but they all have a little bit of a different slant.
Right. Me and my wife saw a marriage therapist about 15, 17 years ago when I was fucking
Yeah.
up. And we liked the facts, going back to your point earlier, we liked the idea and talked about the idea that he doesn't know anybody we know. So we can come, we had to have that conversation because we were kind of
Mhm.
skeptical, like telling this you know what I'm saying, talking to somebody. But my,
Or
but
something else.
but my selling point to even my old lady was like, he don't know nobody we know to tell anybody anything. So even
Mhm.
if he does tell, he's telling somebody that don't know us. So like we don't necessarily have to worry. And that did give us some solace or some
Yeah.
comfort to be able to go in there and be truthful and be forthcoming and like
Yeah.
really spill it all. So yeah, like y'all said earlier, yeah, that was a big selling point for us.
Well, good,
Well, I mean,
man.
salute to you for leaning into that and doing that. Even therapists, we're encouraged to check in with someone on occasion. And a number of
Right.
therapists will occasionally check in with other therapists, and just to make sure, like if you're going through something major in your life as a therapist, you probably shouldn't be treating someone in the same area where you're challenged. And so, whatever that
Mm.
is for the therapist, maybe you stay out of that lane for a while until you can figure yourself out, and then you can get back in that lane. If not, you could be counseling from your own projections and your own stuff. I don't want to do that.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, Jay, let me get this one last one.
All
We
right,
got the
we at an
good time.
hour, bro. So let's go.
Just one last question.
All right,
Just
man.
one last question. Me and Jay talk like we've been podcasting for years. Sometimes I tell him my problems before or after a show, and we kind of get off. Like he'll listen to what I got going on if it's something deep in my life. Um, a lot of times I feel better just saying it, just talking to him. Like we didn't even have to say that much, or he didn't have to give so much therapy, but he just listening kind of made me feel better. And my wonder is how much of therapy is that? How much? Because I know I felt better just saying it. How much is just the person getting it out helping them?
all right, so I guess Jay is both our therapist then, because I'll be calling him about stuff too. uh, but salute to you that you have like you got a homeboy like that you can just reach out to. There's a whole lot of
Facts.
people that don't have somebody like that, and so if you don't have that person that you can just call, like you know, I'm not saying you call at 2 in the morning, but you call at that moment of greatest need and just say, "Man, I'm about
Right.
uh, like I'm at the edge and I want someone to pull me back." I worked. Uh, I've had some pretty serious calls over the year where I've been on call and people have said, "Hey, I'm right on the edge and I'm about to do a thing and I need some help," and just get the person the help that they need in that moment. So I'm glad y'all had that. And if you don't have that, look in your own personal network. I need to grow my relationships. My adult relationships shouldn't be like my 15-year-old relationships. I got real life stuff to deal with as an adult, and I need some real life friends that can help me navigate this. And if you don't have that, then reach out and get professional help. They're not your friends, but they professional people that care about healing. That's what a therapist is, a person who heals. You know.
Right. Yeah. That's what's up. Well, good
That's
looking
dope,
out, Jay.
man. And shout out to Whitey Johnson in the chat, always coming through with the extras.
Thanks.
How much blunt is in that therapy, Jamie Jones? How much therapy is in that blunt? Yeah, man. Look, I once again, I know this is a little different from the the comedy podcast, but all podcasts don't have to be that way. I was extremely inspired just last night. I went to the Hollywood Improv and I saw a comedian there that I have known for quite some time. He's pretty well known in the comedy world, but we have two different circles. And I'll say his name. As I'm not ashamed of our conversation at all. Is Orny Adams,
Oh
and
yeah, I know.
Orny, is most famously on the Seinfeld documentary where Seinfeld writes a new one, and there was a new comic coming up behind him, and it was Orny, and and Orny podcasts, and he does all these other things, and he stopped me yesterday, and he said, "Yo, your podcast clips are coming up on my feed every day. And I really enjoy the fact that all of them are not just goofy funny. You're not just searching for funny. It's like y'all talking about real stuff. And I think that's really cool and refreshing. That's pretty dope. And for somebody who has cut his teeth in the podcast world in a very, very successful way,
Hmm.
to feel obligated to tell me that is very inspiring and lets me know that conversations like this with the good doctor,
Mm.
that are not comedy based, that are just hopefully we help somebody today. And sometimes that's what it's about, man. It's got to be purpose driven as well. I'm living in my why with comedy. I invite the doctor on here because you living in your why with helping people, and
Yep.
we merge our circles together, and this is me sharing my circle with my folks. So I hope you guys
Fact.
enjoyed that today. Jamie Jones, in closing, you want to give up the stuff, all good, but that's all I got to say for the day, my brother.
Yes, sir. I'm right with you, bro. I like this is what we doing as well. Um, we are men of a certain age, so some purpose should be with what we do. Like, and helping the youth should be some of what we do. Leaving back. So yes. So please tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe, like, comment, cut a clip, share it with a friend to youtube.com/J Phillips Live, where you get this Mind of the Quiet Dude twice a week, and this week 3 times. So it's moving up fast, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be seeing much more. So please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like that, after that, go get some merch at jphillipslive.com/store. Got the Joke Slinger line with that logo behind his head right there. Says Joke Slinger on the wall. You see that? You can get that on the shirt and be popping. You can get Mind of the Quiet Dude on a shirt or a hat or a beanie, whatever you want, man, please. And it all helps the show. We are a grassroots organization growing, trying to become a big titan, and all of it helps. So thank you before you even buy. Follow me. I am at Jamie Jones, one word, on all social media platforms except TikTok, where I'm Jones for Mayor. And a lot of clips. Shout out to Arnie Adams for seeing a lot of them, because I'm putting them out 3, 4 a day on all platforms. So shout out to everybody that's seeing them out there. We see the growth, we see the comments, and we thank you for it. Keep it up. Thank you. Share it with a friend. I don't know if we want them following the good doctor yet. We might be building up the whole infrastructure for that, huh? Do
Yeah,
we want
we building. That's
but say thank you to the good doctor. But he is my Dr. Duane McClure, 20-year in practice plus, doing his thing, helping us immensely, and we appreciate it. Thank you for being here, good doc. Um, but he is the Mind of the Quiet Dude, ladies and gentlemen. And his handle is at J Phillips Live on all social media platforms. He didn't do no goofy shit like me where it's one different. He's J Phillips Live at everything. So if you want to follow that man, it's easy to do. You can find out tour dates, tickets, behind the scenes of all the jobs he does. He's a writer, a comedian, an actor. He does a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. So you should be following him. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Rewatch Gang. We appreciate y'all. I haven't shouted y'all out in a minute, but I know y'all out there getting bigger, and we thank you for it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
damn right. Hey y'all, y'all be great out there, man. No words of wisdom today. Just I hope that this helps somebody because it sure did help me. Mind of the Quiet Dude is growing, and I appreciate y'all. And till the next time, y'all be great because it's available.